Hi, Lucky. How are you?
Represent Dr. Rabban.
How are you? Well, it's good to see you. Please. Come on. Pleasure to see you.
And Mr. Galan. And Mr. Ishaq.
Good to see you.
Testing one, yeah.
Photographs, and we'll have the yes. How many waves? Yes. We have to wait for our conversation to later. Finish that job.
I warned them, Mr. President, that when the press comes, it will seem like an invasion. Not to worry about it.
Without AK-47s.
Yeah.
بعضی جبهه‌ها ما به جبهات قوام میکنیم کار داخلی جبهات
We already knew that they must be inside Afghanistan. They should take or struggle. They should go to the battlefield. That's very important for us. Inside White House, Beach House. The White House there is some stars. There are spots where you can see that
This way, please.
back in 1814 or 1812 when they burned But even then, we had some additional help because a rainstorm came up and put the fire out.
That's what happened
I think that's where you run over the bridge.
Well, I got it. And a few remarks. I was very well received by the students. There was two that walked out, and others didn't like it, and they threw their programs at them, and they just made no headway. There you are.
Mr. President, are you planning any actions against the South African government to put pressure on them?
I'm going to take any questions. We only have a very brief time for our meeting.
Well, can you tell us, will you veto the sanctions bill before the House?
This way, please. Thank you.
I am greatly pleased that you take away from your duties and it's an honor for us to support your struggle. Know that you are the true representatives of the Afghanistan people. We need regular dialogue between ourselves and your alliance. Our goals are identical. The freedom of Afghanistan. Soviets must not be allowed to believe that aggression can succeed. We will reject any separate deals with
the peace agreement can't work unless the alliance is consulted and the Afghan people support whatever agreement is reached.
Fine, sir. Nice to see you. Good to see you. You know Ambassador Marjorie?
Yes. Hello there.
Excuse me.
Nice to see you.
And Senator Mayor?
This moment is for me very much.
And you know Mrs. Brad.
Yes,
Good to see you again. Okay.
Honey Rogers.
Hi. How are you? Nice to see you.
Yes, sir. Glad to see you, Mr. President. Glad to see you.
Mr. President, good to see you, good sir.
See you.
Mr. President, nice to meet you.
Behind the ambassador, I'm Paul.
Behind the desk here for group photo. I think we're all going to have to. We need to try to go over that. Did you get everyone?
You sure see your desk a hell of a lot better than I do mine.
Good to see you this morning. Thank heaven for that bucket to see complete with burn bag. Yes, I'm sure. Well, listen, I just, this is very proud and happy.
Silver medal of the city of Caen.
Thank you.
The citizens of Caen were normal, went forward the fight in 1944.
Well, thank you very much.
This medal is the expression of our gratitude.
Well, I am honored to receive this, and I thank you. I, as you know, had a couple of years ago an opportunity to be there. It was my first time for a visit to the scene of that great engagement. I must say, it was an emotional experience that has remained with me for a very long time, and will continue to. And the need for what you're all doing is so great, because I've been disturbed by some reports lately about surveys taken of some of our students, even at the college level. And when I found that some of our juniors at a great university in California, next to their last year of school, in college, were confused as to which side we were on in the war. And they couldn't place names, places, anything. And I don't know what kind of history we're teaching anymore, but this will contribute because I don't know, there haven't been many wars in history in which the issues of right and wrong were as clearly defined as they were in this one, in that great event there. I was in the Army, reserve officer called to active duty, and I anything to say about it, but I wound up flying a desk for the Air Force for never got out of California. But we had a close connection with a great many people this time, because where I was serving as an adjutant and executive officer was the post that General Armament created as a part of his program, which was successful to get the Air Force out of the Army into a separate bracket. So we were the first beginning of what would correspond with the Signal Corps. We were in charge of training all the combat camera crews for the Air Force and sending them overseas. And then we received back in turn their film, which we edited, much of it top secret. So it was a very close view, even though in much more comfort than the people that were there at hand. Having that, I think this is so wonderful, what you're going to do. There haven't been many battles in world history that were any more important than that one. All of those crosses, the stars of David, row on row. What was it the poet said? They will never get old. They'll always be young. They truly did not die in vain. People could live a lot longer than they have and contribute less than they did to freedom and all the things we hold dear. So I wish you all the success that you
We'll wait a lot longer now that you've said that, Mr. President.
I knew two boys from my hometown who were twins, identical twins. Both of them wound up in the Navy, and one of them was on a ship on D-Day offshore, and they were bringing out the barges with the wounded from the beach and taking them up on his ship. He happened to be on the bridge looking through glasses at the shore, and he was looking at a German with the rangefinder there at an artillery battery, and he saw the signal, and the gun fired, and the shell landed short of their ship. And he continued to watch, saw it again, and the second shell landed long. She knew who was the third. They were range finding on this. And he told me afterward, he had the greatest temptation to just call out to the men down below and say, never mind. What you're doing, it's all over. And while he was watching, suddenly that whole toolbox and battery blew up one of our cruisers behind them and made a direct hit. That's fantastic. His brother, incidentally, was on what was called a splinter fleet off Florida. No, he wasn't yet. He sent just a brief message in which he said, sighted sub, sank same. This young brother, on his fantail yacht that had been commandeered, they rolled an ash can off the rear end of depth charge in what they thought was the sounding of a submarine. And their boat was so slow, they blew the rear end. And this other thing had happened. And my hometown, the way it got on the radio, he was the one that they didn't know whether to court-martial or not, and sent a radio SOS that said, sighted sub, sank sub.
I had the great pleasure of spending the day June 6th, a while back at Normandy, and I made my first speech in French. Très mal, very bad. But I can assure you the people of Normandy hadn't forgotten that we came there. It was a very moving ceremony. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
And thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us come.
So that I'm indebted to all of you.
Thank you, sir. See you. Thanks, Mr. President. Call it that. And so I see you got our whole order of battle